In a dust-covered library, untouched by time, the silent guardian stood alone. Shelves heavy with forgotten knowledge surrounded him, not destroyed, not forbidden, simply abandoned. Most people believe important truths are hidden by force. They rarely consider that some are lost because no one stays long enough to hear them. Between volumes no longer opened and pages no longer read, the guardian found a scroll. Its surface worn, its ink faded, not by age, but by neglect. This was not a scroll that disappeared. It was a scroll that waited. The guardian understood why it had been left behind. Because most are not prepared to listen to what it reveals. Not because it is complex, but because it removes comfort. The scroll did not speak of gods, wars, or empires. It spoke of something closer, something modern, something invisible. Distraction. As the guardian read, the silence of the library grew heavier. This knowledge had been preserved quietly, not to be taught, but to be discovered by those already sensing the noise around them. You are not distracted because you are weak. You are distracted because distraction works. Modern life celebrates stimulation as progress, speed as efficiency, connection as virtue. Yet beneath this celebration, something essential has been exchanged without notice. Depth for movement, presence for reaction. A distracted mind feels active without being aware. It moves constantly, yet arrives nowhere. It consumes endlessly, yet understands little. You are not overwhelmed because there is too much information. You are overwhelmed because attention has been fragmented, and a fragmented mind struggles to resist suggestion. The lost scroll of distraction describes a quiet shift in control, a moment when force became unnecessary, when attention alone became enough. Once attention is scattered, direction becomes effortless. No command is required. No authority needs to appear. Interruption became the new instrument of influence, not to stop thought entirely, but to prevent it from settling. Because a mind that never rests never connects what it sees. The scroll was never burned. Banning creates curiosity. Instead, it was ignored, passed quietly, read briefly, set aside again. The guardians who preserved it wrote that most people would resist this knowledge, not because it is false, but because it demands responsibility. To truly hear it is to admit something unsettling. That distraction is not always imposed. It is often accepted, and awareness changes nothing without honesty. The scroll warns that the most effective control will feel voluntary, personal, even pleasant. A distracted person does not rebel. They react. They scroll. They stay busy enough to never connect cause and effect. They feel free because no one is commanding them, yet their attention is constantly redirected, their emotions shaped, their fears activated and relieved in cycles. Control no longer requires obedience. It only requires attention. The cost of distraction is subtle. You do not feel oppressed. You feel entertained, occupied, relieved, until silence begins to feel unfamiliar, even threatening. Because silence reveals patterns. It exposes influence. It shows how often attention is pulled without consent. The scroll notes that this is the moment most people return to noise, not because they must, but because clarity feels dangerous. The lost scroll of distraction offers no techniques, no promises, no instructions. It offers awareness. It suggests that the first act of resistance is not escape, it is noticing. Noticing when attention is pulled. Noticing when interruption replaces thought. Noticing how often reaction replaces presence. When the mind is allowed to remain still, even briefly, something shifts. Connections form. Direction returns. Those who reclaim attention slowly reclaim agency. Not through force, through presence. This knowledge was never meant to be loud. It survives in fragments because it waits for readiness, not belief. If this scroll reached you, it is not because it was found. It is because you paused long enough to notice it. There are other lost scrolls, other mechanisms preserved in silence, other truths waiting to be heard. If you choose to continue, remain attentive. The knowledge does not sleep.